and welcome to Framed
Canvas, Cuffs,
and Other Stuffs. This podcast is about crime.
And art.
And our crime.
Wake up. Pay attention.
We've got art.
And it's juicy. Hi.
Hi!
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, I can sit back and relax this episode.
I know. I am driving the train again.
Again!
Yeah, it's a train this time. Choo-choo.
All aboard my love train.
Yeah, all aboard my love train. One of my favorite underrated Kylie tracks. I loved it.
I said we have a bet. SJ is somewhat involved in this bet. So we obviously have Kylie tickets because
so do we.
Who doesn't in
Yes.
Melbourne? And I made a bet that during that song, projected in the background is going to be like a train, like with love hearts coming out of the steam.
Yes, it will.
And
100% will.
And I said to SJ, if that happens and there's this space love train,
Yeah.
then she has to pay for my ticket.
I don't think she's going to perform it. I don't think it's one of her like, I don't think it would make
the cut.
the cut.
I mean, can you not see that happening, like the
Yeah.
train motion happening?
Yeah, and
You
she's
know
in
what?
a little train conductor outfit.
Kylie, if you're listening, make it happen.
Do love Train.
Come on,
I love
all
that
aboard, toot toot.
the sound and production behind it almost sounds like a video game, like a Donkey Kong video
Yeah.
game, which I just think it's really cute.
I do
I love it
too.
when she does really cute stuff.
Yeah,
Cutesy silly.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
So Love Train, hopefully I got my ticket paid for.
Obviously, you're the new host of Changing Rooms Australia. Tell us about that.
So I really,
Bye-bye, Susie Wilkes.
I really think we should be changing the lampshades. And you know what? If we add red to a red feature wall, it's really going to bring this room together.
You're giving Renovation Rescue.
I am. There's a few ads where obviously like this outfit,
Yeah.
it's always like mum at the supermarket or renovating the home. She's always wearing like this outfit. And she's
Yes.
like, I could see you wearing that outfit in a few years. And I said, I've got that outfit.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
I love it. It's cute.
it's cute.
It's cute.
You know?
Little scrunchy.
I'm just
It's 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I'm
I'm
feeling
doing.
kind of 90s vibes today.
We're giving a bit of 90s.
Yeah.
Considering born in the 90s.
Born right smack bang on
90
1990.
It makes my working out what age I am so much easier.
Well, yes, I've got some things to talk about in our episode.
Oh, cool.
But first,
Yes.
Steph,
Yes.
what are you recommending?
The broader thing I'm recommending is that as I am, while we speak about age, as I am getting older, my body, because I'm doing repetitive work with my art,
Yes.
my body has been starting to fail.
You're getting the RSI.
I'm getting the RSI. So, and pains and things that I never would have received before. So a few months ago, I started going to a chiropractor called Good Bones.
Dr. Goodbones.
Dr. Good Bones. And I've been cracked like a glow stick ever since.
Yes.
And it is life-changing. I was getting severe pain all down my arm and I couldn't move it at one point.
Oy noy.
And like I woke up one day and I just couldn't move my arm. I was like, this is it.
Is this from you carving out your lino printing
Carving
and
and
stuff?
printing.
Yeah.
So much repetitive work and movement. And I went, all right, it's time. I've got to go and do something about this. Otherwise I'm going to not be able to use my body anymore. And so I started going to a chiropractor and it is changing my world.
He's cracking you into shape.
Cracking me into shape, giving me exercises to do, build up my strength, all the good stuff. And
A lesson to all artists out there.
because you don't think about it.
Go visit Dr. Goodbones.
Go visit Dr. Goodbones or make sure you're looking after yourself because we're only going to get older and things are going to stop working.
Yeah, better to do it now than
Preventative,
yeah.
some would say.
Now, when I think of Dr. Goodbones,
Yes.
'cause I can't get over that name of the place. I'm imagining an actual skeleton in a doctor's coat with a
Yes.
stethoscope around
Yes.
him. And he's like gently being like, I'm Dr. Goodbones.
Goodbones. Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah.
Dr. Chris is like.
Yeah. Have you seen all the videos online about people getting chiropractic chiropractor crackings.
Yeah, I have. I don't like it on other people.
I don't like seeing other people, like if I hear someone else crack their knuckles, I wince.
Yeah, it's.
But if I'm doing it myself,
it is
heaven.
Yeah, it is quite delicious that when like there are certain times where he cracks your back, like he'll make you lay on your side and he'll go, whoo, and your whole back will crack.
Yes.
And it is delicious.
My back, I think, is uncrackable at this point. I've had people try to crack my back.
Got to go see Dr. Goodbones.
I've got to see Dr. Goodbones.
Because honestly, changing my world.
Yeah. I want him to just turn me into a pretzel.
Yeah, that's exactly. And also found out I have an extra bone in my body.
Ooh.
Because I got an X-ray.
Just floating around?
Nah, it's growing at the top of my ribs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a mutant.
I'm a mutant. I have an extra, my bones are trying to imitate the rib underneath. So it's just grown a little bit of extra bonage.
You're evolving quicker than
most. That's why I'm such a genius.
Oh.
I'm a mutant. Watch me run really fast.
Go off.
What are you recommending, Joel?
My one is so basic because I used the better one in the last episode. My second thing that I was thinking about in the car on the way here is I've been completely sucked into this cucumber salad that I've been seeing.
The trend. Have you made it? Did you try it? Okay.
I've made it.
Tell me.
A few times.
Okay. Explain the virality to the people who don't know.
I don't do it the way that the viral video is telling you. But anyway, there's this, I don't even know much about it other than it just keeps popping up on my social media.
Yeah.
Is everyone raving about this cold cucumber salad?
Yes.
Which has it has to be cold. It has to be cold and super crunchy.
Oh, okay.
Cucumber.
Not a hot cucumber.
Don't do a hot cucumber.
Don't put your cucumber
It will not work.
in your microwave?
No.
Okay.
But then you and then I sliver up some like really thin slices of red onion.
Ooh.
Now what you do
is
here's the method. You get a bit of you get a bit of soy sauce.
Yep.
Bit of Chinese wine, rice wine vinegar maybe if you want.
feeling fancy.
Yes. Few drops of peanut oil.
Oh.
I use chili oil. You know the chili oil that you get in the jar and it's got the lady on the front?
I know exactly the one.
Yep.
Crispy and crunchy.
Yes, you get the crispy one, but there's one that comes with black beans inside it.
Oh.
Which are extra salty.
Mm-hmm.
Put a few scoops of that in.
Mm-hmm.
Minced garlic, minced ginger.
Okay.
Now you put your cold cucumbers and
put your cukes in.
You put your cold cukes in
and then you take them
your
out?
onion into like a plastic Tupperware container.
Uh-huh.
Put the sauce, we'll mix all the sauce up, put it in. Oh, you got to add sugar. Add a bit of sugar.
Oh, okay.
Then seal the top.
Yeah.
Shake the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Babe, you've got yourself
a cucumber salad.
A cucumber salad that is friggin' delicious. Now, the viral one that's going around, they put MSG in it.
Okay.
I don't know how to obtain that. How do you go and get MSG?
Yeah.
So I don't use that.
But still good.
It's still amazing. And on a hot day.
Yum. Interesting that people are adding in MSG.
I didn't know MSG was like its actual own thing.
I used to work in a Chinese restaurant. They use it.
Just flavor powder.
Best food ever. So delish.
And apparently not that bad for you.
Nah. Everything's killing us.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
And on that note.
Cold cucumber salad and then get your bones cracked.
Oh.
Telling you what, if you're in your 30s.
We are living in our 30s.
Yes.
This is peak mid-30s.
You didn't know how old we were. Now you do.
Now you know we're talking about getting our bones cracked and cucumbers.
It's a Saturday. And we're talking about cucumbers and getting our bones cracked.
Yeah. And had this been 10 years ago, we'd be hungover.
We'd be bed rotting right now. I'm taking charge.
Woo! I don't know what it is.
So, if we're ready to delve in.
I am ready.
I feel like today's going to be a quick one.
That's okay.
Because I'm now looking at my notes and I'm like,
You know what?
But
we'll banter.
Who cares? And we'll banter. There's lots to discuss.
Okay. All right. I cannot wait.
Okay. So, I love a list.
You love it.
I love a list.
You know
There's
what?
something about it that I can just go bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
I don't have to create a story or anything like that.
It's just 1, 2, 3.
I can't do it like how you do it because you are so clever at it.
Thank you.
I need to go on the internet and find what other people have written and then copy and paste it into mine, which is kind of ironic because what I'm talking about today is famous copyright pieces. Moodang. We have to talk about Moodang.
Okay.
I know she's everywhere at the moment. She's a viral sensation. She is the cutest thing I've ever laid my eyes upon in my entire life.
Squishy.
She's squishy. She's wet. She's just
nothing you want to describe a woman as squishy and wet.
Oh, she loves just to be constantly wet.
Why?
Because she's a little pudgy little hippo baby and she's a pygmy. So she's not going to grow up to be one of those scary hippos that kills people.
She is exactly turning into that.
Yeah. No. She's only going to be like that big. Have you seen her mum?
I don't believe she's not still going to be deadly.
She's not going to be one of those ones that has the big like tusks and stuff.
Oh.
She's yeah, she's pygmy. So she's going to be like the size of like a Shetland pony, I think.
Bye, little Sebastian.
We miss you in the saddest fashion. So Australia, actually at the Sydney Zoo, we've got our own little pygmy hippo.
Do we?
That's not getting the same
love. Justice for
forgotten the name. But she's identical to Moodang.
Justice for her.
Justice for whatever her name
is. So no one cares about her. She's the forgotten sister.
Well, the zoo has been posting things being like, hey, we've got one too.
Not quite as cute.
They're cute. Don't you just want to like pick her up and squish her?
Yeah, but do you know the thing with Moodang is like people are wilding out. People are going there and she's having a little sleep. I'm assuming it's a she, right? Moodang?
I think so, yeah.
So she's having a little sleep and because they want to see her move, they're like throwing things at her.
Moodang.
Yeah. Hey.
Are they really throwing stuff?
Yeah, they're throwing
sucks.
things
Don't
and like banging on the cages and stuff.
No.
Like banging on the enclosure. So it's like everyone.
Have we not seen Free Willy?
Have we not seen any animal documentary ever?
Literally. She seems pretty happy to me.
Yeah,
she's a feisty little bugger.
Also, we have Pesto the penguin at the aquarium.
That's what I was about to talk about. Pesto
the penguin.
The giant penguin.
The giant
which
penguin.
I'm not convinced is not a person in a suit.
Could you imagine if it came out that the Melbourne Aquarium paid someone to get in a little suit every day and pretend to be a penguin?
Well, they did that in Maybe there was that the sun bears at the China Zoo, and people were like, "Are they people in costumes?" Because they're standing upright, and it's obviously that's sun bears just look a bit obscure, but when they're standing up, they have the same posture as a human, and so people are like, "Are they just?" People dressing up because there's like moments in the sun bears like hi and like it looks very
hang on a second.
And then another zoo had chow chows, the dog and painted them black and white and were calling them little mini pandas or like a dog panda, which was like a new breed.
And then some scientists
and then it came clear that it was
you can't invent a new breed and not expect scientists to go in and have a look.
Don't paint a bunch of chow chows
and then pass them off as panda dog bears?
Absolutely.
You're going to get caught.
For anyone that doesn't know, Pesto the penguin is at the Melbourne Aquarium and he or she or they are such a draw card at the moment because they're, what are they? Are they king penguins? They're huge. They're like yay big.
But Pesto's only a baby.
Pesto's only a baby, so it's still like brown and furry, but it's the same size as
a 2-year-old.
As its parents.
Yeah.
And it's I think now Pesto's starting to change color and all that kind of stuff.
So Pesto's really you got to go see Pesto quick.
You got to see Pesto quick before transforms.
Transforms into proper penguin.
Proper penguin.
Penguin Pesto.
Yeah. This is wild.
It's just nature. Am I right?
Zoos are so hot right now.
You know what? I know. Zoos are hot.
Let's go to the zoo.
Let's go to the zoo.
But the one that's outside of Melbourne that's like a safari where they get to roam around.
Werribee Zoo?
Werribee Open Range.
Open Range Zoo, yeah. Werribee Zoo.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy to think just in the middle of Melbourne City is just a bunch of
giraffes
and gorillas and lions and stuff.
I haven't watched it yet, but have you seen Chimp Crazy?
Certainly have.
We can't watch it currently because we live in a house with a dog that watches TV and barks at every animal that is on screen. However, when we go to Japan, I will be watching it because it's like the one safe space I have.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to watch Chimp Crazy.
It's Chimp Crazy. It is insane.
Well,
it's very, to put it into perspective, it's kind of like Tiger King, gender flipped because it's a lady, and swap out the tigers for monkeys.
Yep. And what is it about women wanting to nurture chimps?
They go into it.
Okay.
They go into it in the show.
Because I feel like women, it's always women with these chimps.
And these women have their own kids and they prioritize the chimps.
Interesting. Because Louis Theroux did a doco about Animal Kingdom, that type of stuff. I think it might have been pre or just post Tiger King or pre-Tiger King.
Yeah.
Because Joe Exotic was on it, but it's not there as we know him today. But there was women with chimps. And like these chimps.
She was probably on it.
Once they hit puberty.
Like any teen.
They will rip your face off.
Yep. Yeah. It gets
wild.
Okay.
I cannot.
There's a whole episode dedicated to, the story about the lady who had,
Okay. I cannot wait. We will discuss.
Highly recommend. We'll discuss it properly when
we'll do a proper Chimp Crazy discussion when I've actually seen it.
Yes. Anywho, talking about dogs pretending to be pandas and things pretending to be other things.
Yeah.
Let's go right into, I've called this episode, Oi, you stole my art thing. Or, suddenly the Kunst dogged me. Nah, it's not as, I laughed when I wrote it down on the paper and now reading it out aloud. Let's call it Oi, you stole my art thing.
I like that we're brainstorming as this is happening.
As it's happening.
Yeah.
You're really getting a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. First it's you yelling at me. Now it's us brainstorming ideas. What's next?
Steph.
Yeah.
Tell me what you know about the artist Jeff Koons.
Okay. So have seen some Jeff. Mm-hmm. He did, obviously, the giant balloon dogs.
Yes, yeah.
And did he actually did, talking about chimps, he did Bubbles and Michael Jackson.
Oh, he did too.
He did the statue of Bubbles and Michael Jackson. Yep. And he's done like a shark in a resin, I think, at one point.
Yep.
But
was that him?
Yeah. I
cool.
Fact check. And then he's just he is more a visionary, I would say, than actual creator.
Yes.
That's what I know.
Well, with every visionary, there's an inspiration behind it. And does one get permission to use that inspiration?
Ooh.
Let's read on.
Let's find out.
The year is 1992.
Ooh, I'm 2 years old. Okay.
The highest grossing movie at the time was Disney's Aladdin. Cartoon movie.
Yes, and you know what? Better than the live action.
Yes, still haven't seen that.
No.
Yeah. Looks too like glossy and strange.
We've got to stop turning things into live actions.
I'm not about it.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo, or SNES, was the most popular gaming console. The biggest song in Australia that year was Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus.
Wow.
So that's just, don't tear my heart, my achy breaky heart. So that's to give you an insight into, and we were 2 years old.
We were 2.
Yep.
Love it.
2-year-old little babies.
Little babies.
So, in 1992, a notable copyright case happened between photographer Art Rogers and contemporary artist Jeff Koons.
His name is Art Rogers?
Yep, just picking that up now as well. I'm like, well, there you go.
I hope that's a real name and not a stage name.
Yes. Well, it could be, it's Arthur or Artie.
Yeah.
This centered around Koons' artwork titled String of Puppies. The piece features a series of puppies resembling a porcelain trinket produced by Rogers. Rogers claimed that Koons had unlawfully copied his photograph and transformed it into a sculpture without permission.
Ooh.
The dispute delved into questions of fair use, transformative works, and the boundaries of artistic appropriation.
Ooh.
Jeff Koons defended his creation as a transformative and satirical commentary on kitsch and consumer culture, asserting that it fell under fair use. However, in 1992, the court ruled in favour of Rogers, finding that Koons' use of the photograph was not transformative enough to be considered fair use. So essentially, Koons lost the case.
Okay, so he had to pay some cash.
I'm assuming so. These aren't as in-depth as your ones, but...
Okay, I wonder how much he changed it by.
Well, let me show you.
Ooh.
So this is the Koons sculpture.
Okay.
And then if you swipe across, you'll see it compared to the photograph.
Okay, it is just almost copy and paste kind of.
Yes.
The dogs obviously are not blue in the photo,
No.
but they are blue in the copy, I guess we'll call it. They put flowers in the hair.
Yep.
It's like spot the difference,
Yes.
right? There's flowers in their hair. The dogs are a different color and kind of have different facial expressions.
Yes. Other than that, there's no denying that that is...
Same. The
the
facial
same.
expression on the lady is slightly different. She's smiling with teeth in one, not in the other. Why did he choose this particular work?
That's the question. And so this photographer, Art Rogers, I haven't really looked that much into, but my question is, how did Jeff Koons come across this image in the first place? He might be famous for his photography work or not, but yeah, something about this piece really inspired Koons to recreate it essentially. But then for Koons to kind of go on the defense and say, oh no, it's my interpretation. I love how like kitschy and you know, Americana it is.
I feel like
I think it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
feel like he could have changed it more, like had a few more references, because it's clearly one and the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I just question like why this particular work, and also like I get it, Americana, cool. I don't know, it's not like the most amazing image in the world.
No, and it's also not one of his. It's not a popular sculpture by Koons by any means.
No.
I couldn't actually find what gallery it's currently being kept in, or if it's even allowed to be showcased because of the copyright.
They might have had to destroy it.
Maybe.
That's a good twist.
Yeah.
I think especially with Jeff, he is a controversial artist for many reasons, especially because he is a bit like factory-esque of, you know, creating works and stuff.
Yes.
So he's just producing so much work that I could imagine you get to a point where you're just like, cool, I'm just going to do this. And like, you know, but yeah, he is controversial in other ways because he's just not always artin'.
It's also 1992, so like that. It also depends how popular Koons was at that time
as well. Yeah, he's only grown
for this photographer to find out that he did this sculpture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found it really interesting because Koons to me is so, you see a piece and you're like, that's his.
Yeah.
That's his style. That's his vibe.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is the only thing that he's kind of taken.
Yeah. Well, I guess not.
Well, I guess not either.
Because it's like you've got the Michael Jackson, you've got the balloon animal, which is just a balloon animal.
Yeah.
And then there's another work that he did, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's like this old Victorian like piece of sculpture-y thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's always referencing something because he is a pop culture artist, but everyone does it.
But also now I'm sure he would definitely ask permission.
Yeah.
And to not go through all this
change
rigmarole
it
again.
More?
Yeah. Because the Michael Jackson one, that would have been commissioned, yeah? Maybe not. I'm not sure.
He might have a case on his hands. Better call up MJ.
Zombie Michael Jackson.
Thriller. Bubbles is going to sue you.
So yeah, that's the curious case of Jeff Koons v. Art Rogers.
Art Rogers.
Yeah.
What a great name. I really hope that's his real name.
Yes, same.
Amazing. Cool.
Okay, now we move on to something a little bit more current.
Yep.
The year is 2008.
Oh, okay.
This was the year before Britney Spears released her amazing album Blackout.
Which banger.
Her best piece of
Art.
During the most tumultuous time of her life. They banged this amazing album out of her.
Yeah.
Which also transformed a lot of pop music that we hear today.
I have been listening to some old Britney on my way drives to work, and God, the bangers.
Yeah.
Bangers.
And just like, and really she sounded like nothing else at that time. Like she was working with the top producers, all that kind of stuff.
Like
creating,
I know crazy
like
life.
I remember when Slave for You came out.
I imagine
I'd
you.
never heard such a sexy song in my life. The amount of times I danced in front of the mirror to that. Do you know what I used to do?
Okay, tell me.
I used to go into the bathroom and I had one of those stereos where you'd put a tape in.
Yeah.
And every night they'd play like the Hot 30 countdown.
Yes.
I would sit there waiting for Britney Spears to come on. I would press the play button and the record button. You hold those down. It starts recording on the tape. That's how I would obtain, because I was too embarrassed to go get the CD single.
Yeah.
At the time. Wouldn't be now.
I
was a kid.
Yeah. You just didn't know what was ahead.
No. And so I'd tape it on the tape and then replay it over and over and over again. I would turn the shower on so it would be hot, so the room would get steamy.
How did Debbie never know?
I would make the room steamy,
like the
and
film
I'd dance
clip.
around like I was in the film clip in the bathhouse.
Oh my God, that is
Get. Oh.
Yeah, if your mother never questioned your
I just
sexuality.
got chills thinking about it. I know she would have been like just in the kitchen, just hearing the thudding of Slave for You for the 50th time, just being like,
he really loves watching that. He really loves watching Crossroads. I guess he really loves women.
Funnily enough, never seen Crossroads in my entire life.
Legally Blonde, Crossroads. What's next? Devil Wears Prada?
Well, what was the one that everyone got mad at me about for not
Legally
watching?
Blonde.
Legally Blonde, that's right. Okay, so it's 2008.
We know where we're at.
MySpace was the most popular social media platform.
Oh.
Were you a MySpace head?
Of course.
Yes.
Millennial. I had one of the fridges you put on the page and people could leave messages on the fridge.
Oh, yes. For those younger people.
For those who are young.
Yes. MySpace was a social media platform that literally gave you full kind of creative control into how your page looked. And you'd go onto someone's page, there would be a song that would play that you could choose. There would be a design, your own specific design. You could lay it out however you wanted.
We were coding.
Which
is
we
what
learnt to code.
Kids today are learning at school, but we were doing it for just fun social media.
We would look up little hacks like how to code and stuff like that, and you just had to have the best, sexiest MySpace.
Was it top friends as well?
Yeah, your top 8 friends, which was always drama.
Oh, if you were put in the top 8 and then moved out of the top 8, you were causing.
Did you ever like move a friend to the first position and then move a friend like down the line a little bit?
I don't.
Depending on how
I'm
close
sure
you were.
I did, but I don't remember.
I definitely
you
did.
were causing chaos.
I
you
was.
were stirring
I'd be
the
like,
pot.
oh,
you know
I'm
what?
really enjoying Alison this week. I'm just going to pop her at number 1.
So
Jeff could try a little bit harder. He's going to be number 2.
Oh, Jeff hasn't spoken to me in 2 minutes, so I better just move him down.
I was obsessed and I was such an emo and I was just, I loved it. I really got to like live out my fantasy online.
Oh, well, MySpace. Anyway.
Wes Carr won the 6th. I'm not done with the references here. Wes Carr won the 6th season of Australian Idol. Do you remember Wes?
No.
He was like an indie kind of long-haired. I want to say he played like Jack Johnson-y style music.
Mm-hmm. That was very of the time.
Yes. Now we're getting into it. Sabrina Carpenter was 9 years old.
Hey.
Billie Eilish was 7 years old. Olivia Rodrigo was 5 years old. And you and I were finishing high school.
And since then, Billie Eilish has won an Oscar.
Yes.
She's almost EGOTed.
Yes.
And we have
a podcast.
You know what?
We are winning.
We are winning. We're talking about cucumbers and getting our bones cracked. And Billie Eilish was 7.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Well, this is the Associated Press versus Shepherd Fairy and the Obama Hope poster.
Oh.
Do you remember this being everywhere in 2008 pre-election?
So from memory, this was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So is the artist the guy who does Obey? The Obey.
Perhaps. Hey, honey. I'm steering the ship.
Don't ask questions of the captain.
Don't ask questions of you.
You know what, honey? If you want to get ahead.
You know me.
Don't ask questions.
You know I did nothing more than copy and paste this information from a website.
Okay, so for those who have not seen this, who might have been a fetus in 2008, this was a turning point for America with this poster. It's
for
blue
the world.
For the
it
world.
Was crazy.
It's the traditional, I guess, like American colors of like red, blue. Mm-hmm. But it's just so iconic. It's like you can instantly tell it's Obama. And the campaign that went along with this, we haven't seen anything since because it was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. It was so joyous. It was so important and just amazing seeing him take the presidency. But this striking poster was everywhere. It's so recognizable now. It's so just, it's similar to the Obey posters or that kind of like Supreme brand era of like just
street, a bit
minimal
more
bang.
Street art,
could be easily spray painted onto a wall. It could be, So, anyone who followed the 2008 presidential campaign encountered a red, white and blue rendering of candidate and eventual President Barack Obama with the word hope at the bottom. It was everywhere. The Associated Press took exception though, claiming artist Shepherd Fairy used one of their photographer's photos and improperly used it to make money for himself without compensating the Associated Press. Fairy sued the Associated Press saying he was engaged in a fair use, illegal defense to a copyright infringement lawsuit. They settled and agreed to share the rights. In a twist, Fairy later admitted to destroying evidence and to creating other fake evidence. He received 2 years probation and 300 hours of community service.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's
Did not know that.
Okay. So he's obviously taken the photo from the Associated Press, right? And then he's turned it into this poster.
Yes.
And then this poster's kind of gone. And then the Associated Press said, hey, we want to make some dosh off this. You will be paying us copyright.
And he's saying he got fair use paperwork, all that kind of stuff
and he
done.
Didn't.
Which he destroyed.
Okay.
And then created fake evidence. So he created...
So he really knew he knew he was in the wrong.
Yes.
And created fake evidence
to get him out of trouble.
But he still had to cop 300 hours of community service.
Yes.
Which is a lot.
But anyway, the Associated Press ended up sharing in some of the profit from that.
That is fascinating. I never knew that.
I did see the original photograph. It's almost like a Getty image of like he was obviously like listening to something or really engaged and concentrated and just had this stoic facial expression.
Yep.
And someone just took a photo, used it in like an article or something like that. Then Shepherd Fairy used that image as his main campaign image, but never credited the original photographer or the place that it was.
Fascinating. I feel like it's fine.
I almost feel like it was a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
He didn't think it would
be as big as it was.
Yeah, and then it blew up.
I also think for the Associated Free Press, like, sorry, but there's bigger things at play here.
100%.
Like, but people, money, world.
Isn't it crazy that was the whole Obama thing was 2008? That was so long ago.
But also, it feels so much more recent.
Yes.
But it is not.
It's gone backwards.
Oh.
Steph, tell me what you think of when you hear this. Dun 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 digga dun 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 digga dun 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 digga dun 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 digga dun. Do you know?
It's pressure.
Yes.
Pushing down on me, pushing down on you, no one can fall. Belly?
What about
And
dun, 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 dun.
ice.
Ice, baby. Yes, we are talking about Queen and David Bowie versus Vanilla Ice, the
Belly.
90s rapper. Music and copyright go together like Sonny and Cher.
I hope you wrote that line and you're pretending to
Oh. Wagon Wheel Watusi.
I could perform any song you want. Sing Wagon Wheel Watusi.
Chaz. Stop eating all the peanut butter.
Right. Put that in your profile, in your MySpace page.
Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
At the top of the most famous copyright cases. At the top of the most famous copyright cases lists is that of rock legends David Bowie and Queen against rapper Vanilla Ice. If you've ever heard the opening seconds of Ice's 1990s hit Ice Ice Baby, as we just did before,
Yes.
and thought it could be Queen and Bowie's Under Pressure, you wouldn't be alone. Queen and Bowie sued for copyright infringement. Ice didn't hide the fact that his song sampled Under Pressure, but he said the bass line made it different. It's so similar.
It is the same. It is a sample.
The sides settled out of court. Ice gave Bowie and Queen a songwriting credit. The end.
I've said what I said.
So there's really not much to dive into on that one, other than the fact that that Ice didn't really get Bowie's or Queen's approval to use this song.
I think as well.
What was he thinking?
Yeah, because it's so famous.
Yeah.
Sampling though in music is so common.
Yes.
Usually you have to credit.
I think you always have to credit.
You know, it's Destiny's Child and Stevie Nicks. It's
That is so bootylicious for you, babe. Yeah.
like the white wind
Yes.
of. It's like it's
See,
always
Stevie
happening.
Nicks would have definitely.
Sued.
No. She was in the music video, so they obviously asked Miss Nicks.
Nicks. And
Yeah.
she's a good bitch. She doesn't care.
She's a good bitch.
She's a good bitch. She don't care. She's like, whatever.
She's a good witch.
She's a good witch. She's a white witch. It's happening. It's happening.
Sampling music right now is
All
just every single
song.
song you just about. Every bloody Ava Max song is a sample of something else, and it's getting a bit like. Actually, maybe it was more last year. I feel like last year was lots of samples, and it's kind of like, oh god, we're tired of hearing the same beats with different lyrics over the top of them.
yeah.
And now we're getting artists like Sabrina and Billy and all that are creating their own kind of Tate McRae, their own kind of pop sound.
Yeah.
Without having to rely on a catchy hook that people will recognize for nostalgia, which is almost like Money in the Bank because
people go,
people
I
are gonna
remember
listen.
that.
Yeah, they instantly recognize it.
Is that why we're remaking all these movies? Because we're just trying to hold on to nostalgia and make the money quick?
Yeah, it's nostalgia bait. That's why every movie is being revamped. It's like Gladiator 2 is about to come out, which we don't, but Ridley Scott is directing it and I'm going to see it next week. So I'm quite excited.
Report back. It's happening. It's interesting because as soon as you put a sample in, and it's interesting when you hear songs that use samples that are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they add in so many different samples and it changes the song and the vibe. So it's almost like, you're using samples, but it's a completely different song.
Yes.
But it's when now that it's just like.
It's a bit lazy.
Yeah. If you do it
Not
well.
to say I don't like a lot of songs that do have samples in it.
Yeah.
Summer Renaissance by Beyonce uses it's so good, it's so good, it's so
Donna Summer?
good. Yep. Yeah.
So it's kind of like it happens, but it's how you use it.
It's how you use
I
it.
wonder if, because realistically, Bowie and Freddie didn't need the money.
No.
So I wonder, the estate probably didn't need the money, but I wonder if it was just credit us and we'll make royalties in the interim, but that's all we want. It's not like we need a payout for this because we understand.
I feel like it would have been more so Bowie and Queen's legal team.
Yeah.
Being like, hey. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Because for all we know, Queen and, well, probably not Freddie because he wasn't around anymore, but Queen and Bowie's might have been dancing along to Vanilla Ice. Enjoying it.
You know what? They would have loved it.
Like, I love it.
Love it. Have you, this is a real side tangent and we'll probably cut this out, but have you ever seen Dancing in the Street?
Yes. With him and the guy from the Rolling Stones.
And it's the voiceover version.
No.
And it's someone singing all the parts, but as if they're almost like yell whispering, and it's like
out of breath.
Yeah, and
I
they're
love those.
and it's like them running on this. I'll show you after, but it's them running, and so it's just really loud, like.
Can we please put a tiny clip of it?
Yeah,
up here?
and it's like in the USSR. And it's them clapping, but the claps are all off beat. It is my comfort watch.
Better watch out for Major Tom.
Love it.
I have forgotten to credit every single thing that I've done. How ironic, don't you think? The first one about Jeff Koons was copywriter.com. The second one about Obama was freedomforum.org, as was Queen and David Bowie and Vanilla Ice.
Love to hear it.
Yes. Don't get us in trouble.
Don't get us in trouble.
All right, staying on the music train, the love train.
All aboard.
Marvin Gaye Estate versus Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams.
Okay.
Let's get it on. Soul singer Marvin Gaye died in 1984, but his family and estate have spent years protecting his music. A lawsuit claimed the 2013 song Blurred Lines from Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams ripped off Gaye's 1977 song Got to Give It Up. Gaye's estate won, eventually being awarded $5 million.
Ooh.
On the other hand, British singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran won a similar lawsuit that claimed he had stolen elements of Gaye's and co-writer Ed Townsend's Let's Get It On for his song Thinking Out Loud. So there must be similarities between those two. Blurred Lines was a gross song with a gross message.
And it was so popular, you could not escape it.
So popular, but the whole premise of the song was this girl's giving blurred lines.
So why not?
So I'm just going to go for it anyway.
Yeah.
Yuck, 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 yuck. And using the film clip caused controversy. There was just a lot of nonsense around this song.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the time, Robin Thicke was performing at the MTV Awards with like Miley Cyrus twerking on him. It was a
big
crazy
giant foam
time.
Finger.
Yes. But yeah, I think the message here is don't fuck with Marvin Gaye songs because that family will come for you.
They'll come for you. In a great way. Why not?
In a great way. And I'm glad that happened because I don't want to see Robin Thicke succeed.
No. I love that everyone kind of forgets that Pharrell Williams was also on that song. We were all just like Robin Thicke, but we're like Pharrell.
It was Robin Thicke's song. He obviously paid to have Pharrell Williams there. Yeah. But yeah, that was such a hit song.
Yeah, I wonder if we played. I don't think we can play a snippet if they're going to sue.
No, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, these ones we definitely can't.
Splice them together? I wonder if you could hear the similarity.
You definitely can. They're both on YouTube. And especially Let's Get It On with Thinking Out Loud. Even though Ed Sheeran won that case, they're very similar.
I wonder why he won that case. What was it?
There must have been, I feel like in copyright land, there's some kind of percentage that
it's got to be changed.
You're in the clear from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ed Sheeran might have skirted past that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ed.
Our final story. We're going into space.
Pigs
get in the spaceship. Chaz, get in the spaceship. Stop eating all the peanut butter.
It's just so excellent.
Stepdad wants to make a sandwich.
Oh dear.
Snap
out of it.
Star Wars strikes Battlestar Galactica.
Woo! Don't go up against Star Wars.
No, and I feel like Star Trek would have a bit more of it. Well, it's who came first, chicken or the egg? I don't know who came first.
I don't know the timeline.
Yeah. Anyway, Star Wars strikes Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
For all you Star Wars heads out there.
Woo!
Wouldn't be me. Star Wars may have been set in a galaxy far, far away, but the lawyers at movie studio 20th Century Fox follow US law. After the success of Star Wars in 1977, rival Universal Studios released the TV show Battlestar Galactica, which caught the attention of and awakened the force inside Fox. Battlestar was too similar in the theme, Fox claimed. A prominent visual effects artist who worked on Star Wars was fired by George Lucas and went to work on the sci-fi show.
Oh, insider trading.
Yes. Universal countersued, saying that Fox had taken ideas from previous space-themed science fiction. The case was set for trial in 1983, but both sides settled out of court. It was all fine.
It was all fine. Nobody talk about it. Give me the court case.
Yeah, I know. Give me a bit more info. I could have. But I wanted us to talk about it and be like, what do we think?
What do we think? What's going on in space?
I mean, all space stuff is kind of the same.
It's
There's not
all
much
the
you can really do with it.
So
You're in a spaceship. You're in outer space. There's going to be aliens.
I've never seen Battlestar Galactica.
No.
And how far, like when was the Star Wars and when was Battlestar Galactica?
Well, Star Wars was 1977. It just says rival Universal Studios released the TV show Battlestar Galactica. So the case was in 1983. So it was sometimes between 1977 and 1983.
So they've clearly watched it, taken inspo from it, and then made the show.
Well, I mean, one of the designers, the creature designers, went and worked on it and definitely would have taken ideas that he used from Star Wars across to Battlestar Galactica.
That's you take your IP, like you take your I don't know, you take your creativity. Like if you're making monsters for Star Wars and then you go over and make monsters for Battlestar, it's just getting another job, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you were fired and it seems a bit shitty, I get it.
Yes.
But realistically,
but also I don't think Star Wars, like you don't own space.
Hey,
Thanks.
You don't own space, Star Wars.
There's so many spacey movies that are
Muppets in space.
Muppets in space.
Did they sue them? Did they
sue the Muppets?
Did they sue Kermit? They come after Kermit?
Oh no. I'm not gonna do impressions the whole time.
Kermit. Miss Piggy's my icon. I can't.
She is.
I love
fierce.
her. I love her.
There's actually a really good Jim Henson documentary.
I need to watch it. Yeah.
Yes, and it shows how Miss Piggy went from a background character to the star of the show.
You know what?
Her design changed a lot over years as well.
She was born to be a star.
She was.
And this is just one of my goals in life is to like either collaborate with her or run her Instagram because it's so. It would just be so fun to pretend to be Miss Piggy.
It'd be great to pretend to be Miss Piggy.
You could really go Brat. It could have been a real thing. She'd be Brat.
Now, my question to you is, if you were on TikTok or Instagram or something one day, you stumbled across a page, that is essentially your vibe of your page, your style of artwork. Clearly, there are some blurred lines. How would you go about it?
Okay, so if it is Temu and they've taken my design and they've put it on something, very different. To if someone was taking my actual videos, and putting my videos and pretending they were me, like catfishing, very different. But if you're getting inspiration from me, that's fine.
I feel exactly
because at the end of the day, I'm always going to be one step ahead of you.
100%.
So
that's exactly how I feel about it as well.
Yeah, if you're taking my design and like just copying it, I'm going to feel some kind of probably way about it. I'm not probably
if it's
a direct copy.
a direct copy that's maybe a bit more like shoddily done or something like that, that could reflect badly on you.
Yeah. But if it's
someone who's watched you and idolized you and is like, I want to try that for myself.
Yeah.
And has tried doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And is just trying to start out and, you know, I'd say
no thought is original anymore.
No, my art style is inspired by many different things.
And like, I think that if you are an artist who gets caught up in like, there are obviously gray areas, and when it's a direct thing or it feels a bit more personal, it's different. But like, I just think sometimes if you're getting too caught up in the copyright of things when it comes to stuff like this, there's other ways you could spend your time.
You're never going to create another primary color. Everything from now on is going to be a mixture of all the colors that are already there. It just depends. Oh my God, that's the smartest thing I've ever said.
Metaphor.
Oh,
Joel, go to uni, write a thesis.
I'm going to school.
He is teaching the children. Yeah, I think that it's going to happen. There's no thought that is original anymore. You get inspiration from everything. If you find me interesting enough to copy, power to you. I just know I'm going to be ahead of you.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And I think that's the mentality that people should take to it. I mean, feel your own type of way about it, of course.
We're not telling you how to feel.
No, but take a step back and be like, okay, well, this person is inspired by what I do. Not too close. If it gets to a point where it's making you uncomfortable, you can always reach out to the person. But there's a lot of little things you can do before it becomes like a legal thing.
Yeah.
But if it's like a big bucks company like Temu or something like that that's clearly ripped off one of the designs, you take them.
Yeah. If it's a big box, take them.
Because they will pay you.
Oh, yeah.
to get out of their hair.
Can't wait, Temu. I can't wait till I do something interesting enough that you want to take it. Because it happens to so many small artists, which is such a shame. But yeah, I think it's happened. It's happened that people have reached out to me, other artists, smaller, mid-size, whatever. Other artists have reached out to me and from the concept of the sevens said, can I use that concept?
Well, that's good.
Which is lovely.
Yeah.
It's not an original concept what I'm doing. It's just I got the idea from like Keith Haring and how he wanted to bring art to the world and make it more accessible.
Yeah. But you say to them, you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
I say, you know what? You'll be hearing. I have one on retainer and no, you cannot. Nah. I always say, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get over it.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that is that's well said. And that is exactly my thought on it as well.
Love it.
I need to make more art. I need to get back into it.
To get on the
horse. You know what I need? I need new little tips for my eye pencil.
Little tips.
Yeah, because it's getting a bit scratchy.
The tip. Yeah, and
I forget we're on here sometimes.
Yeah, we've just really devolved into chat. Yeah. You know what? You're going to the shops later. Get yourself a little tip.
Steph, I'm going through some stuff at the moment.
I really need to talk about my mother. So, Joel, how did you feel? Loved it, Joel. Thank you for bringing this copyright to the foreground, to the playground.
Oh, no worries. It was a lot of extensive research, and yeah, I really tried to cover all grounds as you can see.
From Britney Spears to MySpace to Cher to
yes.
Obama. Where else are you getting
did.
Where else are you getting all this info from?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, have a good day. Have a nice.
Wow. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
No. We're nearing the end of the year, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. We might a couple more. But
we'll do a couple more. But
what do you want to see?
Yeah.
And what do you want to hear?
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah, we've got a few more in the bank, I think, before we wrap up for season one.
But what do you want to see before the end of the year? What do you want to see in season 2?
Yes. So that'll be something we will eventually have to discuss, what we're kind of going to delve into for season 2.
And
do we have enough art crimes to keep us going throughout? There's always art crimes.
But there might be some other things that we decide to do.
Yeah, we like to diverge and,
Dabble
Dabble.
in the dark arts.
Dabble in the dark arts.
So make sure you tell your friends and your family and anyone you know about this podcast so we can get it to more ears.
Tell your
please.
auntie and her gossipy best friend.
Yeah, get them to tell Nonna. She'll
Tell
spread the
Nonna.
word.
Yes.
She doesn't know how to use the podcast
No,
app.
absolutely not.
But she will spread the word.
Yes.
Okay, and until next time.
This has been Changing Rooms.
Goodbye.
Bye.